you guys crunch or do you actually care about stuff like, I don't know, health? So we have always said that we don't believe in crunch culture. We don't want to crunch. And you know, we value that really a lot. That's not as to say we've never crunched. We have crunched. We crunched for update 3 a bit. I don't know, you know, I'm speaking from my perspective here because I didn't crunch for update 3. But I know some people did at Coffee Stain, and it is discouraged. Like our CEO is pretty preemptive that we don't want people to crunch. Sometimes we'll give people the opportunity to crunch, not crunch, but like work overtime, I guess. There's a bit of a definition clarification here as well between like crunch and overtime. Like working overtime doesn't necessarily always mean that you're crunching, but crunching definitely involves overtime, you know? So we try to not crunch. We have been in that situation before, and we'd like to avoid it if we can. We've been very adamant about it this year, and that's also why kind of like update 4 got pushed back. Not pushed back, but like why people haven't been seeing as many updates as before is because it was just, we're figuring this out as we go as well. And we kind of realized when we were working on like update 2 and then update 3, we're getting more and more ambitious with our updates. And we kind of realized that we can't do it at that rate that we're doing it because it's gonna turn into crunch. So that's why we kind of like took a step back and we kind of looked at how we are going to implement our updates. That's why we made that video with Burke, the fireside chat with Burke. He explains this kind of situation where we would rather think long term than trying to like dish out updates nonstop. Because long term means that we can focus on something in the distance and have, you know, a better way of planning for, rather than trying to like be like, okay, we want to update 4, we got to have this and this and this in update 4, and that could potentially lead to crunch or overtime and stuff like that. So it's not as if like we've worked 0 overtime hours at Coffee Stain. We certainly have, but we really don't want to, and it's like, it's very important for us that we don't do it. And from my perspective, like, yeah, that's what we're working towards.